I done beat a lot of stuff. No matter what they try to take away from me, I beat it. I beat it.
Boom. Right.
And I'm still trying to, push forward. When people say legacy, I feel like you gotta picture where I came from. I already done enough.
The mega fight, that dance with destiny, is nearly at hand. And with both superstars in the fine-tuning stage, secrecy is crucial. That's why Davis made sparring the most important element of any camp, off limits to cameras. But his team's visible confidence hints at his readiness.
Hey, you having fun, ain't you?
Tank looks absolutely massive. That lightweight frame is long gone. He's carrying that fight-week swagger, chest out, shoulders broad, moving like a man who knows his power. His arms look built for destruction, as if he's been trading shots with powerlifters instead of boxers. You can almost feel the weight behind every punch just watching him move.
Many years ago, legendary champion Marvin Hagler remarked that it's hard to get up and do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. In other words, when you're hungry, when you're chasing something, the grind comes natural. But once you're comfortable, that fire can fade. Unless it was never about comfort in the first place.
Here's where people keep getting it wrong. That extra size doesn't mean Tank's slowing down. We've seen this story play out before. Think back to when Terrence Crawford moved up. Everyone said he'd lose his edge, that the bigger men would overpower him. But instead, he showed up heavier, sharper, and completely dominated, proving he could carry that power to any division. That's the kind of path Tank seems to be tracing. Stronger, smarter, and ready to make a statement.
Gotta have confidence. The crowd, the hype. I don't know what type of person Frank are. I could tell body language. And I would see it. I would see it if he's nervous or anything like that inside the ring. If it do play a big part, I take advantage of it.
It's not just extra weight, it's calculated power. Controlled, refined, and dangerous. Gervonta isn't training to outrun Jake Paul. He's training to overpower him. Every added pound has a purpose. Every move still snaps with precision. With 2 weeks to go, the message couldn't be clearer. Tank's not adapting to Jake's size. He's weaponizing it. And when the bell rings, that might be the difference between a fight and a highlight reel finish.
You gotta remember, you need a performance of your life. The whole world will be watching this like,
Hold on, yeah.
Big stage, record audience, millions watching. For Tank, this is nothing new. But it's not exactly the same either, because he's never had such a treacherous opponent to prepare for.
Just as everyone's buzzing about Tank's insane training camp and that massive new frame, boom, David Benavidez drops in with his trademark cool, heavyweight wisdom. Calm tone, sharp message. He's like, I respect the grind and the payday, but I want to see Tank in there with Shakur, Haney, the real sharks. And honestly, he's not wrong. Fans have been starving for those legacy matchups, the kind that define eras, like waiting for a trilogy that never seems to arrive.
I don't want to lose. I hate losing. I know Tank hate losing. Lamont damn sure don't want to lose, so it's going to make for a good fight, man.
But Benavidez drops a sneaky gem in there, too. He gets it. The money fight is smart business, even if it doesn't fit the purists' rulebook. He basically said what every fan's been thinking. This one isn't just about skill, it's about danger meeting size in real time. And that's what makes it electric. You've got one of the most explosive punchers since Prime Tyson stepping into what could be a circus, or a highlight reel that ends brutally fast. And people are still mad he's pocketing $40 million. Come on, if you could make that kind of money before breakfast, you'd grab the pen just as quick.
I want to see Tank fight Shakur Stevens, Devin Haney, all them fights, man. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's Tank, you know, as a world champion first, he should give us those fights. Because those are the fights I want to see. Not taking anything away from the fight with Jake Paul. I know it's going to be a big fight with big money.
Right when Benavidez wrapped up that Real Talk session about money versus legacy, Abel Sanchez came storming in with that classic old-school mindset, ready to cool down all the hype. He didn't dance around it either. He basically said, look, as a boxing fan, I'm not into this matchup. But as a trainer, go secure that bag. That's the kind of honesty you can't hate. Abel wasn't preaching about glory or history books. He was talking survival. His message to Tank was crystal clear. If you're risking your body for a living, make sure every punch counts in your bank account.
It's not really, it's competitive to the point where it's not really about the skill. It's about the size and the skill. You know what I mean? Because Tank is way smaller than Jake Paul, but we know that if he lands a good shot, it could be over for Tank. But also, in my opinion, Jake Paul is so big that if he lands the right shot, maybe if he lands in the back of the head or in the side of the head, it might be over too.
And he's not wrong. Boxing's history books are packed with champions who had gold around their waist, but nothing left in their wallets. That's why what Tank's doing isn't running, it's strategy. Facing Jake Paul isn't about fear. It's about finance and foresight. The smartest fighters don't just land punches, they build empires. But then Abel hit everyone with that classic trainer wisdom. To him, Jake Paul doesn't pose a real danger. He practically brushed it off like, yeah, the guy's got size, but Tank's been handling bigger dudes his whole life. You can almost picture him laughing it off. Pure old school confidence.
You know what, as a fight fan, I don't like the fight, but as a coach, I think it's a good move for Tank Davis. I mean, I've seen too many kids go out of this sport with not a cent in their pocket. And I think that if Tank Davis takes advantage of a big payday like that, I think it's a ridiculous fight as far as a fight fan. But as a coach, I understand it. You have to take care of your own.
The way Abel broke it down was something special. Head movement, looping shots, that raw street-born fighter instinct. It sounded like poetry dipped in violence. Classic ring wisdom with a splash of grit. Then came the line of the day. He joked Jake might only land if luck itself grew a beard. Pure vintage coach comedy. That's that timeless, no-filter boxing humor that only comes from decades in the trenches. Abel basically saluted Tank for his craft while throwing shade at the whole circus around it. And let's be honest, he's not wrong. If Tank lands clean, that 50-pound difference evaporates fast. Jake's next upload might just be broadcast straight from dreamland.
Street, that's who he was fighting. He was fighting bigger guys than him. He was always a smaller guy. So he knows how to fight those big guys. He knows how to duck up underneath and throw those looping shots because that's who he fought in the street. At least that's my opinion anyway. He's always been the little guy, and I'm sure that in the streets he wasn't a choir boy. I'm sure that he had his moments, and everybody was bigger than him. So he knows how to take care of himself. I don't think Jake Paul is a threat.
Right after Abel Sanchez hit everyone with that dose of old-school boxing truth, Michael Jai White stepped in like the calm, fight-savvy philosopher he is. The man looked at those betting numbers the way a director studies a movie script. Cool, focused, and already knowing the ending. Jake sitting at Buzz 136, Tank at 175, and without hesitation he called it, Tank's the one. No hype, no drama, just quiet confidence. Because really, how could anyone be shocked? This isn't just a battle of size against skill. It's social media muscle versus championship precision.
No, like you're a bigger guy, you could take punches from a smaller guy, you know?
Your grandma had a mustache.
That's not really your grandma.
Yeah. If Tank connects with the right hand, he's putting him out.
Yeah.
Just like he did Garcia.
I think that's what a lot of people are thinking, but
again, it's on the up and up.
Yeah.
So I keep saying, no, it's on the up and up. I hope it is.
Michael gets it. Fight IQ isn't something you can fake. Jake might have that influence or power, but Tank's got precision that's been built over a lifetime. The kind of accuracy that lands clean no matter what division you're in. And you've got to love how Michael framed it. Calm, sharp, and real. He basically said, Jake's finally facing a real champion. A smooth reminder that boxing isn't some side mission for content creators chasing clicks. Then he dropped a line about people wrestling bears next, and honestly, he's not far off. The sport's become part carnival, part chaos. But Tank's here to reset the tone. You can lift, cut weight, or pray to your algorithm all you want. When that left hand detonates, it's not chasing views. It's serving vengeance.
But the fact that Gervonta, I believe he spars people that are much heavier than him. And man, that upper.
Who do you got?
I would have to bet on Gervonta because for all the little things, all that, and the fact that he's not old. Yeah. I think he makes up for the weight situation. I don't know if a guy that size is going to be fast enough to catch Gervonta clean.
True.
Yeah.
But Gervonta might catch him.
Oh, he is going to catch him.
And just when you thought Michael Jai White's take was the wildest headline of the week, boxing went full Hollywood on us. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, Part 2. Like seriously, are we really doing this again in 2026? Probably streaming on Netflix right next to a documentary about itself. You can practically picture Dana White tossing his headset across the room. Floyd's creeping up on 50, Manny's had more retirements than Tom Brady, and somehow the rematch is back in the headlines like it's 2015 all over again. It's insane. But admit it, it's kind of legendary. The sport needed a jolt, and who better to deliver that spark than the two icons who defined an entire generation?
If it wasn't Gervonta Davis, it was somebody else in that weight category.
It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. But Gervonta, I mean, technique-wise and heart-wise, that makes it interesting. Again, kudos goes to Jake Paul because it kind of worked its way up, even though the guy is so much smaller.
Because this isn't just about who wins, it's about who still belongs under those lights after all these years. And let's be honest, I'm watching it, you're watching it, the whole world's watching it. This isn't just another fight. It's nostalgia dressed up as legacy with a billion-dollar stage show. Sure, the years have added a few miles, but tell me you wouldn't tune in just to see who's aged smoother, the businessman or the senator. Floyd's defense might still be slick enough to dodge an audit, and Manny? He might throw a flurry quick enough to reboot his campaign mid-fight. At this point, he's probably swinging for the Wi-Fi password. But beneath all the jokes and hype, there's something almost poetic about it. Two proud warriors refusing to fade quietly.
The announcement apparently in talks, in serious talks, sometime in 2026 on Netflix, Mayweather Pacquiao 2. And what Cops said there, I agree with a lot of it. Number one, I agree that this, regardless of the skill level, regardless of the time out of the ring, regardless of all of that, this would still be a very sought after.
And here we are, just 2 weeks out, and this fight feels less like a sporting event and more like a cultural quake waiting to explode. On one side, you've got Gervonta Davis, compact, explosive, a human coil of raw TNT. On the other, Jake Paul, the walking fusion of social media empire and boxing ambition. Two worlds that were never supposed to collide, yet somehow it all fits perfectly. Every quote, every leaked clip, every training highlight feels like fuel on the fire. And with voices like Benavidez, Abel Sanchez, and Michael Jai...
26-year-old Manny came out of retirement after 3 years and went toe-to-toe and arguably beat Mario Barrios. Let's be honest. That's probably more of an indictment on the sport than this fight would ever be, but you're still going to get that feel of like, oh man, here come the novelty act fights. All right, this is what we're doing. I don't necessarily feel that way. You're going to get that feel with a lot of the hardcore boxing fans, but just like a Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, just like a Gervonta Tank Davis, Jake Paul, just like a Floyd Megan Paul, you're going to get more of an attention outside of your hardcore fan base from casual audiences to watch a fight like this.
So now it's your turn. Who's walking away with the bragging rights and who's getting a reality check? Does Tank shut down the circus once and for all? Or does Jake Paul pull off another shocker that leaves the purists fuming? Drop your predictions in the comments. Let's settle this debate down there. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with your fight crew, and subscribe to more breakdowns just like this. Until next time, stay sharp, stay ready, and keep your guard up.